Hi, I'm Kevin Gallagher, Head of Partnerships in EMEA for the London Stock Exchange Group, and I'm delighted to be joined today by Kieran Holland from Innovative Systems and their FinScan solution, one of our longest standing partnerships with WorldCheck. Kieran, welcome.
Pleasure, thanks for having me.
Obviously, we're here at the Risk Summit, and financial crime is the core topic. And we know that is continuing to rise, and firms must carry out increasingly complex sanctions and AML checks as part of their obligations to combat corruptions, terrorism, and financial crime. Within the current geopolitical climate and the current wars, I mean, sanctions inflation is on the rise. Currently, we believe at 16%, and there's about 70,000 individuals and entities currently on the global sanction list. Can you tell me a bit more about the kinds of challenges our clients are facing in managing these?
Certainly, I think it's a bit of a twofold problem. So firstly is, of course, the pace of change. As you said, the rate of inflation in how many profiles, how many individuals and entities are being sanctioned has shot up in recent years with good reason. And that is difficult in and of itself, handling those sorts of volumes of data, how much data is coming in, how many more profiles are needing to be screened against. That's certainly an issue. But I think the other issue that goes in tandem with that is the level of complexity. It's not just one sanctions list with one expected outcome. There are frequently new sub-lists. There are new executive orders coming out, each potentially with their own slightly different way of handling it, different way of reporting it, different expected actions off the back of it. So I think those two things combined, increased complexity and a huge pace in change, that's quite a difficult challenge for a lot of people to overcome.
And obviously, technology plays a huge role in this. Can you maybe expand a bit more on the role of technology and also the risk if we don't get it right as well?
Sure. So where technology really comes into play is understanding that it's not just a singular tool that you put in place. It's something that you've got to utilize ongoing, and that the technology has to be adaptable. This is a constantly adapting fight against the bad actors. Yeah. So the technology needs to enable ease of change. It needs to enable scalable growth in terms of data. And it's got to do that all in a friendly way that is keyed into the ultimate desired outcome, which is to prevent financial crime, to prevent sanctions violations. We've got to always keep an eye on the end goal and how best we enable that with technology.
Yeah, absolutely makes sense. And given the volumes of data, technology is key to be able to scan through those at speed and to spot those anomalies. Financial institutions usually know they need a technology, but in recent research, we understand that 73% reported they were struggling to get the best from it. And the key reason was due to poor data. We should really talk about data next. And obviously, data is key to our partnership with WorldCheck Data and FinScan Innovative Systems. What are the key points about data in anti-money laundering and sanction screening that you would point to?
I think the first thing is understanding that it's a two-sided equation. There are two sets of data at play here. You've got the external list profile data, sanctions, PEP databases, vessel registrations, and so on. And with the use of the WorldCheck database, that's well curated, that's well categorized. But equally, the same sorts of challenges can occur internally within organizations with their own data. Be that through mergers and acquisitions, be that through buying up previous books of business, or just good old-fashioned legacy systems. The data from that side of the equation is frequently far from perfect. And compliance teams are not data scientists, but they do still have a very specific need when it comes to getting good data into the process. So the best recommendation I can always say is to start at the beginning, which is to understand the data on both sides of the equation. Be able to look at what you've got, how up to date it is, how accurate it is, understand how best to utilize that information. Because just jamming two data sets together and hoping something meaningful comes out the other end, we've proven time and time again is not a good approach.
Absolutely. And as you said, I think we've both seen examples of that. Kieran, Thank you very much for joining me today. I look forward to many conversations and also serving our mutual clients together going forward. So thank you very much.
Thank you.